Nice to see you already here. Thank you for everyone for coming to this live with me. So I know it has been a while for me to go live on YouTube. So thanks a lot for being here and supporting me on this live because I do have a pretty interesting story that I want to share with you. And I think it's maybe relevant or helpful, especially for those that are interested in traveling, in van life, and personal development, because this is all related. Thank you, Edward. So as you know, that I am now in Montreal, and I mentioned to you that I did put my van in storage. So spring has come. That means winter is over, and I want to get back on the road. So I asked the insurance if I can get, because it has been on storage insurance, because I asked them if I can get a regular insurance now so I can be on the road. And because my van was registered in BC, so they said because I have been out of BC for a while, they won't be able to give me the insurance so that I can start traveling this summer, because it's about time for me to take the van back and get it ready for the next road trip also. So the insurance guy actually told me, because I have been out of BC for a while, and the reason that they cannot provide me insurance is because every provinces are different. Depends on the province, the policy of the province. If you stay there for a certain period of time, you would have to register your van over there. Now, registration in Quebec isn't really, it's not that simple in my opinion, and I don't intend to stay in Quebec. So if I have to go, if BC doesn't want to provide insurance to me, that means like every province I go to, I have to ask for temporary permit, and it is really annoying that everywhere I go, I have to ask for a permit in order to get insurance so that I can drive. And that means every month or every couple of weeks, I would have to deal with the registration and with the insurance policy, because every province is different. So this would be a good tip for you if you plan to travel long term like I do, even within Canada, but in different provinces. You would have to look closely into this insurance issue, because otherwise it can be the pain in the ass, just like to go through different provinces and try to figure out what to do along the way. It's really inconvenient, if you have to keep dealing with the insurance company all the time. So that's got me thinking, because I was very frustrated. I was really angry at them, and I was really frustrated. Why is it that it's so ridiculous that I cannot even travel within the country freely? And that made me realize that how separated between the provinces are. There's just so much separation within the provinces, within the country of Canada. And when I first, I'm not bad-mouthing Canada or anything, this country had given me so much more freedom than any other places that I have been. This is where I could start my van life, and that has given me my freedom heaven. And that's what I has been thinking the whole time. This is this is my place. This is my freedom country. Until this incident, and it hit me, and it made me realize no matter where I am in the world, I'm still gonna feel really trapped, and that I won't be able to have the freedom in order to travel, because it's pretty much the same everywhere. From US, from Vietnam, and now from Canada, I would have to face all these politics and I wouldn't say discrimination, but that's what the world is actually built upon, because separation is built on discrimination also, and that's make me feel like powerless. I don't feel like I have the power to do whatever I want to do. Like my passion for traveling has been disrupted like ever since I was in Vietnam, and that was the reason why I wanted to go to the US. But over there, I didn't feel like I have the freedom either. And going back to Vietnam, I feel like I can't achieve my my desire for traveling. And because the frustration is that's where the frustration comes from, because everywhere I go, everywhere I travel in different countries, I would have to ask for visas. I would have to prove that I'm not a criminal. And now, like here in Canada, I've been like enjoying my freedom so much, and now just for an instant, and then they're like, no, you can't travel anymore. That it just pretty much provoked my old wound when, like back then, that is rooted into my into my heritage being a Vietnamese, because with the Vietnamese passport back then, like whenever I travel, I have to face these discrimination at the border control, and they really have to investigate you, pretty much everything. And that's where the trigger came from for me, and that's where I felt angry, and I felt frustrated, and I felt powerless. The frustration is come from powerless, because you feel like you don't have the power to do what you want to do. Hi, Marty. So this is where I started to realize, as I sat with this frustration emotion, I started to realize like how much I have felt so trapped for so long in my life, and that's where I wanted to travel, because the more I feel trapped on the inside, the more I desire to travel. And basically travel is just a superficial desire in order for me to obtain the freedom. But I didn't realize that how much I feel trapped in the inside is how much I feel I want to have the freedom from the outside. So basically, this go back to the saying is above, so below is below, so above or is within, so without. So if you have the desire to travel, if you love traveling, if you love this van lifestyle, so perhaps like you can sit with it and ask yourself like, why do you want to travel? Because that was the story for me. That because I feel trapped on the inside, that's why I wanted to travel, because that is the manifestation of my desire to have the freedom. But no matter where I travel, I'm going to still face that struggle of separation, of how the world is separated, how the world is so separated, and that inhibit me to travel freely. Thank you, Doug. So yes, because I want to do what I love, and your struggle is your biggest struggle is your biggest dharma, is your biggest um, life purpose. And that's where I also realize, because I love to travel and my struggle has been fighting, fighting a way to travel freely, finding a way to have the freedom, but not the outer freedom, but more like the inner freedom. And so I realized my purpose, that I wanted to see I wanted to see a world with no border. I wanted to see a world that you can actually have the freedom to be who you are and to travel freely, if like for whatever reason, like if and in order to obtain that, like you have to have, like I said, it's within, so without. So because I feel trapped on the inside, so that's where I get to face all the struggles from the outside. So if we all can obtain the freedom from the inside, we can also obtain the freedom from the outside as well. So I realized that has become my purpose, that this is what I wanted to do, that I wanted to contribute to the world by helping people obtaining this inner freedom. And so I want to ask you that if you are interested in traveling, then I know that I have asked these questions before in previous lives. Then what is it that you really want from the deep down? Like, do you feel trapped like I did, and do you desire that freedom like I did? Or is it that something else that trigger you to have this desire to travel? And what do you imagine like freedom really look like for you, and how do you really want to travel? And because of this realization, it's also helped me to understand a deeper layer, that since we are since what we experience from the inside is also what we experience from the outside. Since I have been feeling trapped, and that prevented me to travel the way that I want to travel, like just live freely and just basically be a nomad and just go wherever I want. And that's relate to the word freedom, because that's what I'm seeing in the world, that we don't have the freedom to travel, we don't have the freedom to really express ourselves, and that is the most important key. Like traveling is only my way of expression for my own freedom. And that also means that we are all just one. So if we all can learn to achieve this freedom from the inside, we all can help to contribute to a better world where we are more free and we have more peace as well. So that's also bring me up to, as I mentioned to you, that this is my purpose and what I want to do in order to contribute to the world. And so that's what I've been doing in order to. I've been working on a different project and it's about to finish. And what it is, I'm not able to share with you yet, but that's the reason why I have been slacking off with YouTube. So I'm very, very grateful for all of you. I have been staying here for a while and be very patient with you. I really appreciate your presence, and you'll continue to support me. Even though I didn't make that much time with YouTube lately because I've been busy doing something else. I promise that I will announce what it is because it's not a completion yet, it's about to finish. So I'm not able to share with you the details because it can steer in any other direction. But I just want to take this time to actually thank you everyone who have stayed here even though I have been idling on YouTube for so long, and you guys are still here to support me regardless. And with that, I just want to again thank you for you to be here, and hopefully this incident, this story that I'm sharing with you, give you some insight to help you think a little bit deeper about your own life, your own desire, and what is it that you want to achieve in this life? What is it that how you want to live, and to understand your inner self a little bit deeper. So, chronically vegan, what do my parents think about living in a van life? So I did an episode, I did a video about that, my family, what my family think about my van life. It was also alive, so you can go back to that video because I really explain a lot more about that, especially from the Asian perspective, that they didn't think that this was a good idea for me to live the van life. But I'm actually excited to get my van back and get back on the road and get more adventure ahead this summer. So again, thank you everyone for being on this live, and I wish you a good weekend. Okay, bye.